The call to adventure, how to know if your business idea is worth pursuing.
Every entrepreneur sails through predictable phases, and once you learn to recognize them, everything changes. I'm Lynette Young, and this is the Entrepreneur's Voyage. Whether you're starting, soaring, sailing, or somewhere in between, you're in the right place. Stop surviving your business. Start navigating your journey.
I am sure that thousands of people every day get brilliant business ideas. They're in the shower with a flash of inspiration. They're stuck in traffic listening to a podcast. They're death scrolling on social media. And that's probably the most dangerous part right now, right? Because it's all this polished, hyper curated view of success stories of how they've turned their passion into profit and quit their corporate jobs. And now they're living their dream life, making $250,000 a month and paying a VA $1,000. Social media feeds are overstuffed with success stories that are curated and maybe not always true of people that turned their passion into profit. They've quit their corporate jobs and now they're living their dream life with a laptop from a beach or from a homesteading in the north with chickens. For every person like that, there are tens of thousands of us that don't make $250,000 a month while sitting on the beach. Here's the thing. Every business idea is not worth pursuing. Most of these divine downloaded ideas are not worth pursuing. Not because they're bad ideas. Some business ideas that people come up with are genuinely clever. They're not the right calling for you. They're ego-driven fantasies dressed up as business opportunities. The difference between a good idea and a soul's calling isn't something you can determine through market research, financial projections, spreadsheets. It's something you feel in your bones. Just because you want to or you are called to open a specific business, have your entrepreneurial voyage start with something specific, doesn't mean the angels have to come singing and light has to come down from the clouds. I met two women a couple of months ago who are business partners. They purchased a franchise, which I love the franchise model. They were about 6 months in and needed help with and other parts they had to fill in themselves. You want to know what this business was about? It was a yard pooper scooper franchise, and they bought a certain district or what have you. Do you think that the angels came and sang to them and said, you have to go pick up poop after a 220-pound mastiff? Chances are that those ladies are huge animal advocates, right? They foster, they rescue, they donate their time. It's in their bones to do that. So of course this would make sense. Now, if you get someone that's allergic to animals and can't stand them, that kind of business probably not going to sing to their soul. So it's not really about, will this business be successful? It's about, is it calling to me or am I calling to it? And can I make it successful? There have been great ideas that I have had, quite honestly, and I know that I just don't have it in me to actually do the thing. I've invented 16 things in my head. Do I know how to make a patent or get things manufactured? No. Somebody else is going to come up with that idea. It's fine. I don't need to act on everything. You don't need to act on everything, no matter how profitable you think it is. I want you to think about, is this business going to sustain my soul and my bank account, or is this business going to slowly drain your life force and my bank account? The problem with why most business ideas are built on shaky ground. We live in the age of overconsumption and entrepreneurial noise. There's this hustle culture out there and anybody can be an entrepreneur. All you need is a TikTok account and a Venmo. It's created this typhoon of business ideas that sound exciting but lack foundation. In my coaching, even companies doing $50 million a year in revenue lack basic, authentic foundation in what they're doing. Most business ideas are born from the wrong place. A lot are born from ego rather than purpose. They're building their business as a reaction rather than a purposeful calling. The sunk cost fallacy there, which is something that is probably one of the more prevalent mindset stops that I see in small businesses for sure, and entrepreneurs. So I want you to think about, are you trying to build a business around what you should be doing and should be successful at rather than what feels authentic? I'm not saying that you shouldn't use market analysis to find your next business you're going to build. And I'm not saying that you should be completely woo-woo and just follow your heart, because, oh my Lord, we'll be talking about that as well. But there's a trap to it, right? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Like, that's disgusting. Even in something that you absolutely love and could do for the rest of your life, you are going to have absolute shit days, and you're really going to question why you are doing it. But the point here is that you have to have the passion behind it to actually go. If you do something because you're chasing Benjamins, then you're absolutely not going to be able to stick it out when things get even remotely lukewarm and hard. There is this very seductive trap. It's an escape fantasy. It's why we're on social media. It's starting a business to primarily get away from your current circumstances. The idea of building a business because you're running away from something else. You might want to leave an unfulfilling job. You might be mad at your boss. You might think you can do it better. That's escapism. There's a lot of this going around because I know the job market is hard. I'm actively looking to grow our own team, and the type of people that apply, I can feel the desperation in what they're writing. And it breaks my heart to say not a fit and keep moving on. But a lot of people are forced to start a business around their talents, skills, notoriety, or whatever it is because they can't get a job. And it's not because they're not amazing people. It's just that the market sucks. So in reality, to the outside, this escape fantasy looks much better to say I am, or I'm on the road to be, a failed entrepreneur rather than I am a failed employee because I can't find another job. It feels a lot people to say, well, how many businesses, I don't know, 80% of all small businesses fail in the first 2 years or 5 years or whatever the statistic is. And, gosh darn it, I was just one of them. Versus saying whatever the unemployment rate is, and that's so much smaller. And I'm one of those people that for some reason just can't get a job. I'm overqualified, underqualified, switching careers, whatever the deal is. It's an escape fantasy for a lot of people to start their own business. When your foundational instincts of why you're building this business, why an entrepreneur is a person and you're building the thing, which is the business. Let me be clear about that, because a business it's not an entrepreneur business. Like, they're two separate things. When your business foundation, when the instincts get distorted, they really come up like scarcity thinking rather than survival wisdom. Instead of thinking and building businesses that provide sustainable security, you're chasing quick fixes and get rich quick schemes. And this girl on Instagram says, she went from zero to $250,000 in 6 months, so I'm going to buy her course. Like, no, that's all unfruitful activities, revenue generating activities, always, right? So when we're doing that, we're talking about, I'm just going to take a class. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a TikTok, all around this business thing that I want to do. You have to go back to your foundations to start. The cost of this misalignment is profound. It's ego that drives us there, right? Ego that says, just start now. Our ego drives us to think that all activity is forward momentum, and it is not. We talked in other shows, and we'll talk in a lot of other shows about head sale versus main sale. Main sale is where you get your power from. Head sale in the starting C is passion, perception, purpose. Those are the things that entrepreneurs get squirrely with. We're like, I have this great business idea and I have passion for it. How are people going to perceive me online? How am I going to perceive myself? What is my purpose for doing this? Those are all of your head sales, like which direction you're going in. That is exciting, right? And then what you really have to do is buckle down, get into your main sale, which is where your power comes from, which in starting it is profits. So profits helps you set your foundation. If your foundation isn't set, you're not going to make money. You can have the best ideas and the best purpose statements on the planet, but if you can't make money because your foundation isn't solid, you're not a business owner. Plain and simple. You may actually strive to obtain external markers of success, right? Revenue in the sense that you can go online and say, we've helped 2 million X, Y, and Zs, or whatever it is, or we make $250,000 a month. That's different than profits. Profits are different than revenue. When you're ego-driven and chasing those markers of success, you may think that revenue is a marker of success. Revenue is not a marker of success. Can I tell you how many people I've worked with? I have a client I just offboarded. She started making $10,000 a month in her business. It was her and a VA. She made $10,000 a month, which was phenomenal. She spent $9,700 of her business every month. So she was basically left with $300 in her pocket. That's not a marker of success. I'm very sorry. It's just not. Recognition or ego. Hello, tell me how beautiful I am. Do you want awards? You want followers, right? This concept of getting followers and having people like you online is a form of recognition, and it's external. It's not a marker. Trust me, when Google Plus shut down, I had 1.2 million followers. And I made no money off of that. If I had $1 for every follower, that's what I was used to say, right? That means nothing. Foundational wisdom, the bedrock of authentic businesses. Your instincts govern your relationship with how you survive, how you perceive or obtain security, and how you feel a sense of community and belonging. I know people personally in my lives. I've known them for almost 40 years. And they are employees and they make millions of dollars a year. And they are so hollowed out by what they do that I wonder if it's worth it. Understanding your foundational wisdom means that you understand and can recognize that true security doesn't come from chasing external validation. Am I the top sales guy? Did I get the most clients this year? Did I get more followers? Do I have more YouTube people? All of that, and financial quick fixes like, oh, let's just get one more client so I could pay the bills and then we're good. That's feast or famine. But this wisdom means that you know and that you recognize that you need to build something that aligns with your deepest purpose. Maybe your deepest purpose is to never be poor again. And I'm not even being facetious about this. I was the poor kid in a poor town. Maybe your deepest purpose is to be able to go to the grocery store and buy whatever the hell you want and not even look to see if there's money in your bank account. It could be as simple as that. But trust me, when it's that strong and profound, it will keep you going for your entire life. Foundational wisdom integrates your purpose with your survival needs so that you can create a business that serves both your soul and your bank account. The key distinction between survival wisdom and scarcity thinking is that scarcity thinking is like, I need to start this business because I'm desperate. I've been on the job market for 6 months and I can't find anything to do. My spouse is going to get mad at me because I can't get a job, so I'm going to do this. Or I'm desperate because we need to make more money. We're having another baby. There's no upward trajectory in my job. That is desperation. Survival wisdom says that this purpose of the business that I'm about to create and pour everything into serves my purpose and can sustain me. You have to have faith that what you're building can sustain you. If you start a business and you're like, I don't think that I can actually feed myself, my family, my bills. If you don't think that you can do that, then what's the point? Because then you're an entrepreneur with a side gig of being a Walmart greeter. There's no point in it. You have to absolutely believe in yourself that you are going to build something that becomes greater than yourself. These fear-based decisions can feel really frantic and really desperate, right? And a lot of times they're driven by external pressure and market trends. Oh, well, 3 years ago I was a crypto expert and now I'm going to be an AI expert. It just makes me want to gag. A lot of times people, and this isn't necessarily even starting, but the external pressure and fear from competitors' actions will cause you, even in the beginning, but specifically when I see people hitting the stalling stage of a business, the fear of what their competitors are doing is absolutely crushing. They obsess like some stalker teenage middle schooler about what their competitors doing. What are they doing? I can do that. I can do that better. That ego-driven mindset isn't necessarily just reserved for when you're starting a business. It can definitely kick in. It's like, well, your market is doing this, but you're not. You should catch up. Stay your course. If you know you're on the right path and you can make the business profitable and prosperous, and they are two very different things, and you stay your ground, stay your course, keep your hand on that wheel and go in the direction that you want to. Don't cow down to external expectations. When you're guided with the internal knowing, you have to get right with yourself when those hard things hit. You have to go back to what are your values, right? How do I want to live my life? How do I want to deal with people? How do I want to attract and serve clients? How do I want to make money? How do I want to use the money that I'm using? Your internal knowing of the gifts that you have. What are you amazing at? Going back to those and coming back to the gifts and the things that you don't have to do the things that everybody else. I don't know how to use TikTok. I'm not really good with short form. As you can tell, my shows are going to go really long. I don't understand that. My gift is this. My gift is long, deep, meandering conversations. It's not 15-second clips on TikTok. Go lean into your gifts and whatever your authentic calling is. I love a microphone. Video, I'll be honest, putting on makeup's a pain in the ass. But what is your authentic calling? And my authentic calling for this example is the 7Cs has been baking in me almost half my life. This is my authentic calling. This is the hill I will die on. The thing that will be my biggest regret on my deathbed is if this framework did not get out to as many people as I could push it out. I had to get over my ego. This is my calling. If you know and you are so sure about what you're doing, there is no such thing as external pressure. There is no such thing as following market trends. There is no such thing as competitor because you are a category of one. So the foundational test for any business idea is really simple. When you think about this business, the idea, does it make you feel more grounded or more scattered? Scattered in the sense that, oh my gosh, I have all this stuff to do. Like, is it like, okay, I feel like I'm sinking into my chair, buckling in and getting ready for the ride and excited that you have all of these things in front of you to do. And yes, they may be coming at you like a fire hose. Or do you feel scattered in the fact that, well, I could do this, but would it be better if I did this business idea? But I don't really know if I could do that. It depends on how you feel grounded or you do feel scattered. Authentic callings have a stabilizing effect. Ego-driven ideas create excitement, but then excitement's best friend, who's coming up knocking on the door right behind him? Anxiety, doubt, overthinking. That's what ego does. The soul versus ego discernment framework. Soul-aligned businesses, and I'll use that term, but I mean purpose-aligned businesses, right? Businesses that align with you on a personal, internal level. Soul-aligned businesses have unmistakable characteristics. First of all, they serve something greater than personal gain. 1 + 1 doesn't just equal 2 in the form of a paycheck. 1 + 1 equals something greater than just what you personally get out of it. Your primary motivation is based around how can I contribute? How can I add? How can I elevate? How can I share? Rather than extraction. If you go into this thinking, I'm going to make as much money as possible and spend the least money on clients because I need to squeeze as much cash out of it, that's desperation. And that's not the foundation to build a business. If you're called to solve a problem or serve a need that matters to you personally, then you're soul-aligned. Soul-aligned businesses energize rather than drain you. When you think about pursuing this idea, do you feel excited and energized, or are you anxious and overwhelmed? This isn't manic energy, but sustainable energy with true and authentic alignment. Third, the businesses you create align with your core values. Your business model doesn't require you to compromise your fundamental beliefs or act in a way that feels unauthentic. So what I will say here is if you are a true holistic mama and you believe in no dyes and no artificial flavorings and growing your own food and composting and raising chickens or whatever that is, it would be unaligned and quite frankly deadly to swing and say, I'm going to open a med spa where we're sticking Botox in people's faces and some filler. It has to align with your values. The fourth thing here with soul-aligned businesses is it should feel inevitable. It feels like your entire life has been rolling up to do this. No matter how you try to take the exit and get off the road, the next turn always puts you back on the highway to this thing that starts to feel inevitable. That is absolutely me with 7Cs. For years, I tried to push this to the side and people would come to me with issues and problems doing my coaching work and business consulting. They need to focus on X, Y, and Z. And I was like, no matter what I do, all roads led me back to the 7Cs. It is absolutely inevitable for me to talk about this. Even if you try to dismiss attempts and you're like, well, I'm going to get a real job or secure job or my family needs this from you. It just keeps pulling you back. You're probably going to need to address this more closely because it's not something you're choosing. It feels like it's choosing you. Lastly, soul-aligned businesses and authentic business ideas really tend to build on your natural strengths rather than forcing you to become someone else. And again, I've been through this myself, hey, we should change Lynette's whole vibe to Devil Wears Prada. And let's make her a badass and that. You know what? I'm wearing jeans and sneakers and a hoodie that I literally got from Walmart because it was so freaking awesome. And it just has the word fierce written all over it. Like, that's me. I just want to wear a hoodie. I want to be comfortable. I'm not Devil Wears Prada. I'll take a pair of Red Soles any day. But if building my business and attracting clients is built around this idea of a persona that I have to fight to be and I struggle to stay there, that's not going to work for anybody. And if you are a Devil Wears Prada type person, or you're a gym rat or whatever, that's going to align with you. You can't force yourself to be something that you're not. Ego-driven businesses are really almost always driven by comparison. The motivation here is proving that you can do something better than competitors, proving that you were an amazing employee and they should have never let you go or laid you off, or people should have hired you because you're amazing. If that is your authentic calling, then you're probably one of those crazy people that argues with everyone on the internet. Ego-driven ideas frequently require you to change your personality. So if you find yourself thinking, I'll need to become more aggressive, or I'll have to learn how to be hard close sales oriented to do this business, that is grinding against your natural tendencies and your authentic calling. I don't like selling. I like consultative approaches. I'm not going to get on the phone and do a hard sell. I'm not going to set up aggressive funnels and try to get people to now, the prices go up. You have 24 hours. Like, that's just not my vibe. I am all about offering these things, telling you what they're about, what we can offer, and how we can help you. If you choose to purchase, then you choose to purchase. It's just the way I am. Maybe I could make more money doing the other thing. I don't know. It's not me. The other way seems ego and desperation driven, and being my authentic self and how I want to communicate and start engagements with people is totally different. When growth in your company and business feels natural, like you're not just rubbing up against sandpaper, that's where you need to go. Ego-driven businesses usually push up against things that do not feel authentic because they are not. These businesses are often motivated by escapism, running from your current situation rather than moving towards a vision. So are you leading or are you chasing? And then also, ego-driven businesses really depend on external validation. You can come up with this idea that you're going to be better than a competitor and start your own business. But if nobody sees you and nobody can compare them outside, like if no one's actually doing the comparison that you are, like what use is it, right? That's going to fizzle out. When success only feels meaningful when others recognize it. There are 4 pillars of purpose-driven business foundation. Pillar 1, authentic service. The first pillar of building a purpose-driven business is providing authentic service. Understanding how your business serves others in a way that feels natural to you. You need to ask yourself, what's the problem that I can solve without even thinking about it? One of the big things to help baby entrepreneurs come up with their first business ideas is to think about what people come to you and ask you about. Is it like, how do you bake a cake and the top never looks weird? Like, whatever the thing is, that's what we're trying to go for here. What is a problem that you can solve without even thinking about it? Often your authentic service calling is something that you do so naturally that you don't even realize that it's valuable. There are plenty of things that I do in my day job of running a software company when I work with clients. And I'm like, I don't even want to say these things out loud because, like, duh, how does everybody not know them? And then I say them and people look at me with big blinky eyes like, where did that come from? And it seems like institutional knowledge to me, but it's not. Try to look for these things and get a friend if you can, because those are really the hard things to carve out of yourself. The key here is to build your business around a service, and that service could be a product too. I'm using that interchangeably. It should feel effortless rather than forced. I'm not saying it won't be hard or difficult or there won't be a lot of steps. If you're building a new widget to do something, when you go through the process, you feel energized. You're like, hey, I'm 20% there now. Hey, I'm 22% there now to getting to the end, to getting the thing launched into the world. When you're servicing your clients and attracting clients authentically, the work will energize you rather than drain you. Pillar number 2, sustainable survival. The second pillar involves creating financial models. This is why profit is the main focus in your starting journey. Without profits, you got nothing. But you need to build a financial model that honors both your needs and your values. So if you come up with a business and if you are the very best in the world and you got 100% of your total addressable market and you still couldn't live off of that money, is it really worth following? You have to look that it meets your needs. And obviously, we've talked about values a lot, but you need to ask yourself, can this business sustain my financial needs as I need now and what my hopes and dreams and aspirations are in the future without depleting me? Yes, you can make the money, but is it depleting your values? Is it literally draining you? You need to balance both. One is not more important than the other. You can have all the values in the world and be standing on a street corner. You need to look at the financial structure of your business idea. Does it require you to work so many hours that you have no life? If you are an artist and it takes you 1,000 hours to make a painting and you charge $100 for it, is that sustainable? No. Can you actually produce the thing that you want to produce in volume enough to make a life out of it, to actually feed your family? Does it suck your soul out? I know a really corporate enterprise, global enterprise salesperson, and they're making bank, but at what cost of their life, of their health? Balance, sustainable survival here. Remember, survival is not about accumulating wealth. It's really about creating enough security. Part of security is wealth to pursue your purpose without constant financial anxiety. Pillar number 3, personal alignment. The third pillar focuses on ensuring that your business activities really energize rather than drain you. So you need to ask yourself here for personal alignment. When I do this work, does it give me energy or take energy away? When I'm done with this podcast, I am like, woo, let's go. I don't need an energy drink. Let's go, go, go. Who can I call? Who can I help? Like all the things. And then I'll be honest, when I was working in corporate and I would get out of meetings, it was just like, I would stand there getting ready to open the door to go into the conference room, and I would have my hand on the handle of the door for I swear it felt like 10 minutes. And I'm like, I don't even have the strength to walk in this door right now. I'm so drained from what we're doing. But I want you to look at that. And that has a lot to do with personal alignment. Not every aspect of your business is going to make you want to jump up or spin around in your chair and be all excited. But you need to pay attention to different aspects of your business, of the different ideas and how they feel. Are you going to be comfortable spending 10 hours a week, week after month after year on sales calls? If that's what it takes, yes. And your answer might be, as soon as I make enough money, I'll hire somebody to do that. I hate to tell you, but as an entrepreneur, you have to do all the jobs first. You have to do the sales calls, scrub the toilets, cash the checks, all the things in between. Because if you don't know how to do them properly, there's no way that you can train other people to do them the way that you want them done. So you have to find personal alignment in everything that you're doing within the company. And I'm not saying you have to love it, but you have to be aligned with it. Next up here is, can you be fully yourself in your business? Do you have to put on a persona? Now, sometimes we do. When I go to conferences, or I used to do a ton of professional speaking, there was a bit of a persona that chick on the stage had, but it wasn't so different from me. It was just a piece of me that was more amplified at that particular time. If I had to completely change who I am to do a business, I'm not doing that business. It's exhausting. Pillar number 4, growth potential. This pillar ensures that your business has room for growth without losing its authentic core. Can you grow to the size that you need it to be or want it to be so that you can serve the people? The businesses have souls. People will call it culture, but I look at this as your business has a soul. Will you kill the soul of your business? Will this business grow with me? Can I grow with the business? What happens if the business starts growing wildly in year 3, year 5, year 13? It starts taking on a different direction. The business becomes its own thing with a soul, and it will follow the heartbeat of where it needs to go. But sometimes it goes ahead without you. And are you okay with that? Will you be okay with that? But more importantly, is there room for growth potential? If out of the gate you are serving 100% of the people on the planet that need you, and you are charging the absolute top dollar that you absolutely could for 100% of those people, there's no room for growth. There's room for pivots, so we can definitely talk about shifting, but there is no room for growth at that point. The passion trap, oh yeah, oh my God, this is so exciting. I want to make chocolate-covered pretzel rods for my whole life. If you chase your passions, it will not sustain you. You need lasting purpose, that slow burn, building up the kindling thing that you just can't stop thinking about. Things that out of the blue you'll be driving and then you'll think of a new idea for things and it just rekindles your passion for it. I'll give you an example. With the 7Cs framework, I've been working on this framework since 1999. It started out as 3Ps and evolved into what it is. The concept of mainsail and headsail is new within the past 2 years. When that hit me, I literally didn't go to sleep till 5 o'clock in the morning because it was just like this divine download from the universe into my brain. And I was like, wait a second, this works. And I had to sit and I looked like a mad scientist. And all of a sudden it went and it revalidated again and again how much this framework has worked and how solid it is and how it helps people. And my job and my purpose and my passion, it is absolutely my passion on this earth to take this framework and to keep working at it and keep uncovering what is already there. Passion is intense, but it's often short-lived. Purpose is steadier and more sustainable, but you can still have big bursts of passion within there. True purpose doesn't require manic energy, like me staying up until 5 o'clock in the morning. But it feels like you're coming home to yourself. I feel like this whole thing was meant to be. Like I was literally put here to put this idea in the world and help serve people. So don't confuse temporary enthusiasm with your lasting purpose. Next up is a comparison spiral. You're measuring your authentic calling against other people's successes. You're comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 12. You're looking at the top 10% of the iceberg that's above the water, not the 90% that's under the water, like the parts from people that you don't see. This comparison spiral is prevalent. Your purpose is unique to you. It can't be evaluated by external metrics or spreadsheets. Even if somebody else has the same exact idea, your purpose is still different than theirs. Focus on whether the idea that you want to build your business around serves your authentic calling rather than how it measures up against others' achievements. So if you do things in your business just to see what other people are going to say about it, that's comparison. The third pitfall is the perfectionist paralysis. This is me to a T. I will wait for 100%, 120% certainty before taking action. I will wait until I have not told anybody about anything, but somehow miraculously people come to me and tell me how amazing my idea is. People don't know what they want until you tell them what you have. That's the way it goes down. You will never have complete certainty about any business idea. I held on to the 7Cs for a decade longer. It was probably ready to hit the air, maybe 15 years ago, before putting it out in the world because it wasn't perfect yet. The goal here is to develop enough clarity to take you to the next authentic step, not to eliminate your risk altogether. Moving from discernment to action. Once you've identified your authentic business calling, if you are a true entrepreneur, you will have other business ideas later in your life. I've been in business for a long time. I've had crazy ideas. Most I haven't acted on, some I have. Don't feel that this is your only true authentic idea or business. If you don't get it right, you're not done. You'll have other opportunities. You need to have the courage to act on it. And all of those things that I said are why people don't act on it. This requires you to be grounded, to find the courage of actually serving your purpose to other people rather than the reckless courage of just proving it to yourself. The key is to start small while staying aligned. You don't need to launch a fully formed business overnight. Begin with small experiments that test your idea without compromising your security. Security here means, say, financials, things like that. Maybe you have a day job. Don't do something that's going to cause you to get fired. Offer your service to a few people. Start making a prototype of the widget you want to make. If you're a designer, you start cutting fabric and sewing yourself, whatever it is. Create a simple version of your product. It does not have to be runway ready. It doesn't need any of those bells and whistles. If you start with one digital download that you charge $7 for, then that's what you do. If you start with one outfit that you get from Goodwill and upcycle it and sell it, that's what you do. One thing at a time, simple versions. As you're taking these initial steps, pay attention to your energy and alignment. Now, does this work continue to feel energizing? Are you excited by the time you get to the end or dreading it? Are you serving authentically? Are you doing this because you want to see results and help others? Are you doing this for ego, fame, profits? I get it. We all got to eat, but those early experiments and experiences help you refine your approach before making bigger commitments. It's very true in the world of sailing. If you are 1 degree off course, you're just going to be a couple feet away from your goal when you start. But the further you go, that 1 degree will turn into miles and miles away from the goal that you're setting. If you don't course correct in the beginning, you're going to wind up in the wrong port. When you're grounded in your authentic business purpose, you're not just creating a livelihood, you're not just creating yourself a job, you're participating in meaningful service. Even if you're creating a physical thing, you are in service of others to make that thing, to provide to them so they can purchase and help solve a problem. Your business becomes a vehicle for expressing your deepest gifts and contributing a positive change to the world. When you build your business an authentic foundation, this is where you can create sustainable success that serves both your survival, your purpose, and the survival and purpose of your clients. So a lot of people think, if I make a lot of money, I will hate it, right? So there's all of these money mindsets. Money's evil, all this stuff. Money's not evil, just energy, just a means to an end. But if you're putting in your head, the business has to be horrible and grinding and I have to resent it because that's the only way I've ever been taught to earn money, then we have to go back and make sure that your business is aligned with your deepest calling. This call to adventure to become an entrepreneur and start your own thing isn't just about starting a business. It's really about stepping into the fullest expression of who you were meant to be and who you are meant to be now. What I was meant to be 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 54 years ago is not who I'm meant to be. Your business idea, if it's truly soul aligned, is an invitation to grow at your highest potential while serving the world or your little part of the world in your very own unique way. The adventure begins with a single step: the courage to honor your authentic calling over the noise of external expectations. Your foundational wisdom knows the way. Trust it and let your business become the authentic service it is meant to be.
I'm Lynette Young, and I believe a rising tide raises all boats. That's why I'm here. That's why this show exists. If this episode helped you, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube Podcasts so you don't miss what's next. Leave a review to help other entrepreneurs find us, or visit us at 7seasvoyage.com. It's 7, like the number. Thank you for joining me on the Entrepreneur's Voyage. Fair winds and following seas.